What is going on, people of YouTube? I'm here to give you guys an unboxing / overview of the ceiling mount I brought with my HD projector setup. I also brought a projector and a screen. If you want to check those out, the links will be inside the description. So there's a lot of different ceiling mounts and all kind of mounting options you can go with when it comes to mounting your projector. I personally decided to go with a ceiling mount because it's just way more professional looking. You can sit a lot of different distances without, you know, your shadow being casted on the screen. So the ceiling mount is above you, so you have to worry about, you know, oh, somebody sitting in front of the projector or whatever, or mounted it, putting it on a shelf or anything like that. One thing to consider as far as if you want to purchase a ceiling mount or if you want to have this mounted onto a shelf in the back of your room, is this projector going to reach in the back of your room while throwing an image onto your screen? If you're going to have this mounted in the middle of your room, then you really want a ceiling mount, because you don't want to have a shelf in the middle of your room with the projector on it, you know what I'm saying? You know, so you want to have it mounted on the ceiling so it can be above everything if it's in the middle of your room. Now, let's talk about the ceiling mount itself. The packaging was real good, you know. I hardly ever give any talks or any thoughts about the packaging. You know, I guess I always forget, but the packaging was pretty good. And upon first impressions, it's really sturdy, heavy metal build quality. As far as mounting it to the projector, you have a lot of different options and things of that nature. A lot of different screw sizes and mounting plates and all kind of stuff like that. Even if you have a huge projector, you can use this ceiling mount for that. You have all the tools you need, all the extenders you need. Even if the screws are super far away from each other, you have the extenders, you have all kind of options. But it's all about getting that bad boy mounted to your projector. It's really a pain in the ass. It took me about 2.5 hours altogether, maybe even 3, just to get it mounted onto my projector, just to get it mounted onto the ceiling correctly. There's so many different nuts and bolts that you got to loosen, and you got to make sure you mount it correctly, or you got to take the whole thing down and mount it the other way so you can be able to adjust your projector correctly and stuff like that. So you got to make sure you really follow the directions and really know what you're doing, and make sure you know where you're putting your projector at, because once you put it up there and you got your projector too far away from the throw distance of your screen, or too close, then you got to take it all the way back down, because, you know, it's not mounted in the right place. So first you want to mount it on a shelf and turn the projector on so you can see where you're throwing it at and adjust it accordingly, and then stay inside that same spot and then go straight up to the ceiling and, you know, do all your markings and stuff like that, and then do all that. Luckily, this is not a heavy projector, so I didn't really have to find no studs. Really, I just used drywall screws and just, you know, screwed it into the drywall. I never use included screws ever when it comes to screwing something into the wall. I always use drywall screws, which are really cheap. You can get it like 200 for like $5 or something like that. And then I use some extra ones for safe measure. Now back to getting this bad boy adjusted. Now I wish they had thumb screws up on here, instead of using a nut and you know, instead of have to use a wrench and a freaking Allen wrench and a regular wrench so you can tighten and loosen up, you know, whatever. I wish they had a thumb screw on one side and an Allen wrench or a regular wrench, you know, nut on the other side, so you can turn it with your hand and adjust it accordingly. Because once you got that projector up there and you're trying to loosen up certain screws so you can adjust it, and you got to use that Allen wrench plus a wrench to turn it and stuff, like it's a pain in the ass. And you just gotta bear with it, and it takes patience. No matter what projector mount you go with, it takes a lot of patience, because you gotta, every little tiny inch you move is gonna change a lot on the screen. So you gotta make sure you don't bump the projector as you're tightening back up the nuts and stuff like that. If you kind of nudge it a little bit, you gotta unloosen that again, adjust it and tighten it back up. But as far as movement, you got a lot of different movement options and stuff like that. You can move it left to right, up and down, but you got to make sure you got it mounted correctly. And then there's 2 screws up on there that's kind of like false advertisement, because I loosened those ones and it didn't move. Like, it didn't allow me to move it inside that in particular direction. So I don't know what's up with that. So I had to unscrew the mount, turn it around, and then use it so I can turn it left and right, up and down. It's kind of hard to explain, but, you know, all in all, this is a very, very good ceiling mount. There's really nothing too much bad I can say about it. Is that it's a pain in the ass, you know, with them different screws and stuff like that, using an Allen wrench and a wrench to loosen the screws and all that kind of stuff. But you can, if you wanted to, if your projector is kind of light like mine is, you can loosen it a little bit So when you adjust it, it won't move. You can just adjust it and it stays there. So with that said, that's been my little unboxing slash overview. Thank you guys for watching this video. Do I recommend people buy it? It's a recommend to buy. You know, pretty decent price. Not too hard to set up, but like I said, those screws, I mean, those nuts and bolts could be kind of a pain in the ass a little bit. You know, just know what you're doing, take your time, and you know, you can get it set up right how you want it. I'm out. Peace.